So you've probably had this happen. You use an AI, you get some text back, and it's
Yeah.
just fine.
Acceptable.
Yeah, acceptable is the enemy. It's that generic filler that just feels, I don't know, empty. We need to get way beyond that.
And that's why we're here. Welcome back to the deep dive. If your workflow is basically just copying and pasting good enough AI text, well, this deep dive is for you.
We're talking about a method that completely upgrades that process because the problem isn't the AI's ability to write. It's its inability to critique itself without bias. Think about it like an author trying to edit their own book. A huge manuscript. They're just too close to it. They know what they meant to write, so they miss all the little flaws.
It's a total conflict of interest. But if you bring in a professional editor, someone with fresh eyes, they see everything. They find the big structural problems the author was completely blind to.
That is the perfect analogy. And that's our mission today. We're going to explore how you can set up one AI to be that passionate but biased writer.
And a second AI to be that strict, unbiased professional editor. Exactly.
So we've got a roadmap. First, we'll break down why you even need two AIs to pop that single AI bubble.
Then we'll get into the setup, how to build what the source calls a master asset.
And finally, the most important part, the correction loop. This is how you polish the content into something truly exceptional.
All right, so let's just get this out of the way. The big question, right? You're paying for a powerful tool, maybe GPT-4. Why add another step? Isn't bringing in, say, Copilot just more work?
That is the essential question. Why can't that one expensive tool just do it all? The creation, the critique, the whole process.
It all comes down to what we're calling the bubble concept. See, when one language model creates something and you ask it to improve it, it can't step back. It remembers the whole conversation, the first prompt.
It's completely locked into its own context.
Right. It's like a cook tasting their own soup and saying, it's perfect. Even if it's, not quite right for everyone else, it's biased towards its own creation.
So it avoids the big necessary changes.
Exactly. It'll tweak a few words, maybe change a sentence, but it won't question the core structure because it assumes its first attempt was the right way to go.
So we have to artificially create that outsider's view.
Yeah.
And that's where this team structure comes in. The source positions the creator, let's say ChatGPT, as the one who's great at generating that first big block of text.
And then you have the critic. This is your fresh eyes. The source suggests Microsoft Copilot because it's right there in the Edge browser, and it has two huge advantages.
Okay.
First, it's prompt blind. It has no idea what you originally asked for.
Yeah.
And second, it has live internet access.
That live internet access feels critical. So the critic can read the text and immediately check facts, check prices, whatever, against what's happening in the real world today. If the single AI knows its own prompt history, what risk does the second AI mitigate by being prompt blind?
It just removes all the bias. The second AI is judging the final product, not what the first AI was trying to do. Okay, so let's make this practical. Let's move from the theory to the actual workflow. Imagine we're building a business around, say, healthy meal prep for busy parents.
A huge topic. You need a really strong piece of content to stand out.
Exactly. You need that authoritative foundation piece, the master asset. And we're not talking about a short blog post. We need something big.
Like the 3,000 words you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, around that. You need to give the critic enough material to actually sink its teeth into. That volume helps find the flaws.
So what are we telling the creator AI to build?
We get super specific. For this meal prep guide, we'd say, I need a grocery list for a family of 4, under $100. I need a list of cheap, essential kitchen tools. Give me 5 simple recipes, under 20 minutes to cook, and, critically, safe food storage rules for the whole week.
And you probably add style rules too, right? Like short sentences, simple language.
Oh, for sure. Simple language, real numbers, specific examples. And we know that first draft, that 3,000-word document, it'll be fine. It will be structured well. But it will still be generic.
It won't have that expert spark.
Not yet. So now we set up the workspace for the critique. This is pretty simple. You just use the Microsoft Edge browser.
Because Copilot is built right into the sidebar.
Right. It creates this perfect split screen setup. On the left, you've got your master asset, maybe in a ChatGPT window. And on the right, there's your critic Copilot, ready to read everything on the left side of the screen.
It's a clean operational split. 2 different AIs with 2 very different jobs.
How does the sheer requested length of 3,000 words actually help the overall quality process?
More initial detail allows the critic to analyze and find specific, granular flaws. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. The correction loop. This is the part that most people just skip. And it's everything.
It is. This is the gold mine. We start with the critique phase. And the most important thing here is the persona you give the critic.
You can't just say critique this.
No, you have to be demanding. Force it to be harsh. We tell it. You are a professional nutritionist. You're also a busy parent with 3 kids. That persona grounds every piece of feedback in real-world practicality.
And then you hit it with tough questions.
Yeah, a whole barrage. Is this advice actually practical for someone who's exhausted after work? Are these prices realistic for today? What's missing that would make this a 5-star resource?
And that's when you get the incredible feedback.
This is where the magic happens. The creator AI, for example, might suggest organic kale. Sounds healthy, right?
Sure.
But the critic, with its persona and internet access, fires back. Nope. Organic kale blows the $100 budget. Swap it for spinach or frozen broccoli.
Wow.
Or it'll point out something so human, so obvious, but that an AI would miss. Like, you forgot reheating instructions for the chili. It's going to be dry by Tuesday.
Or my favorite from the source.
Oh, the dishwashing one, yes. These 5 recipes require 7 different pans. A tired parent does not want to do that many dishes. Enforce a 2-pan maximum. That kind of insight is pure gold.
That's the stuff that makes content feel like it was written by someone who actually gets it.
It's the difference maker. And honestly, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself, where my initial intentions get kind of watered down in a long AI generation. So using this kind of critical feedback loop, it's just essential for me.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So after you have all this brilliant feedback, you don't just go in and make the changes yourself.
No, absolutely not. That's the key. You move to the instruction phase. You ask the critic, with all its new knowledge, to write a new prompt for the creator.
So it turns the critique into a set of instructions.
A detailed, specific set of instructions. The new prompt would say something like, add a new section called the Safe Reheating Guide. Enforce a mandatory 1-pot rule on all recipes. Update all prices based on current grocery data.
And then you just copy and paste that new super detailed prompt back into the creator AI.
You got it. And the creator rewrites the whole thing, now incorporating all of those expert-level corrections. The output is instantly 10 times better.
And you could do that again, right? It's iterative.
As many times as you want. Take the new version back to the critic. Is this better? What else? Get another prompt. Refine it again.
Whoa. Hold on. So you could scale this kind of quality control across, I don't know, dozens of articles almost instantly.
Does this iterative process inherently guarantee factual accuracy, or is Copilot's internet access still the primary key to checking prices?
Internet access is critical for grounding the content in current prices and safety guidelines. Mid-roll sponsor, read placeholder.
So let's recap the big idea here. We started with a basic frame, just a standard AI article. Then we used a second internet-connected AI to act as an inspector.
An inspector who's prompt blind, so it has no preconceived notions.
Exactly. It inspects the frame, finds all the practical real-world cracks, and then, this is the key, it writes the repair instructions for you. This whole process just shatters the single AI's bias and takes your content from fine to, a genuinely expert-level resource.
And that master asset, that amazing 3,000-word guide, isn't really the final product. It's actually just the beginning.
It's the beginning of everything, because that content is now so specific, so structured, so verified, you can do anything with it.
You can just slice it and dice it.
For sure. That one article becomes 30 days of social media posts. It becomes a full email course. And because the data is so structured, like the $100 budget for a family of 4, you have the logic to build a software tool, like a budget calculator, and you can do that without writing a single line of code.
So the goal shifts from just generating words to generating these verified, actionable systems.
So the question for you is, what single high-value asset are you going to build first? What generic text are you going to transform into expert-grade data using this dual AI method?
That is a great question to think on and a perfect place to start. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
We appreciate you listening. Now go build something great.